Good morning, jr4. Hope all of you are okay. Let's start with lesson 6, which is talking about amphibians. At the first, what is meant by amphibians? Amphibians are small animals such as frogs, toads, salamanders, and so on. But amphibians have the ability to live in the moist environment and the dry environment. They can live in both of these environments at the same time. How they do that? Number one, in the land like humans, so they have a lung like humans to use it in the breathing or to get the oxygen from the air like humans typical. And at the same time, they have the ability to take the oxygen from water in case they live in the moist environment. So they have the ability to have the oxygen from the two sides, from the air by using their lungs and from the water by using their skin. How they make that? Number one, they are covered with a specific type of skin that allows the water and the gases to pass through it. Once their skin start to be moist, so they have the ability to absorb or extract the oxygen directly from the water. And we can consider that as a structural adaptation. Why? Because they adapt with their environment by using their skin. And the skin is considered something or a change in the formation of the living organisms. So we consider that as a structural adaptation. Okay, why they interested with this type of animals? Why they started to focus on amphibians? Because scientists found that amphibians are animals that called endangered animals. What is meant by endangered animals? Means that they are exposed to be extinct animals. What is meant by extinct animals? jr4, in the past, there were many types of animals that not exist right now. Like what? Like dinosaurs. We can't see any dinosaurs anymore right now. Why? Because they were in the past endangered animals and the scientists can't care or can't interested with this problem, so they become died and they no longer exist in the life. So at the first they were endangered animals. After that they become extinct animals. And now amphibians are in the stage or in the level of endangered animals. So scientists started to interested with this type of animals to can care about them or to can avoid them from extinction. Okay. So, what is meant by extinct animals? There are animals, species died and they no longer exist. Okay, like what? Like dinosaurs. And what is the time that we can set dinosaurs is become extinct animal? When the last species or the last one of the family dies. So at this time, we can say that it's become extinct animals. Okay, okay. Let's start to know what are the rules for the scientists to can protect many types of amphibians like frogs and so on from extinction. Number one, we said that amphibians like frogs and salamanders and so on, all of them can live in the land and they can live in the water. So they need clear water and air. So scientists started to uh, provide frogs with clean water. Why? To can stay to can stay them healthy. Okay, because they live in water and air and they are very sensitive to the effect of water and air pollution, destroying the natural environment and the viruses that can travel through water. We said that frogs have a skin very sensitive to the water, which means that once the skin become moist, it has the ability to absorb the oxygen. So we need to take care about the pollution of the water to avoid absorb viruses also with the oxygen gas. Okay. Number two, scientists are working to save many types of amphibians by studying these questions. Number one, they need to know how these animals interact with their environment to can understand this type of amphibians very well. Number two, what makes these animals sick in the environment to can less or to can avoid the decreasing or the large decreasing in their numbers. Number three, the reasons of the disappearance of these animals around the world at frighteningly rates. This means that they need to study the reasons of disappearance. This point mentioned, they started to know why they are become endangered, why the decreasing or the large decreasing number in the amphibians happen. Okay, all of that why junior 4, because they found that 90% of amphibians have become extinct in the last 20 years. So that means that in the last 20 years, we uh, we lose 90% of amphibians. And now we have 124 others endangered species. Their numbers are decreasing by large amounts. Okay. Okay, the last point here, how we can protect the amphibians from extinction. We can do that by two ways. Number one, for biologists. Number two, for people. For biologists, by understanding how amphibians breathe in air and water, so they started to study the factors that affect on water and air. Why? To try to provide them by a healthy air and healthy water. Number two, for people. Clean air and water is important for amphibians, so so people should avoid throwing waste materials in water, and dispose of chemical in a correct way helps to avoid water pollution. We studied before in lesson 5 that the way that we follow to uh, get out the chemicals from the factories have to be in a specific ways, but sometimes we choose the more easy way, and we start to throw these chemicals maybe in the water, maybe in the soil, and we don't care about the side effect of this action. Now we understood very well that it's something important to make our air clean and the water clean, because we don't live alone. The side effect will be touch us, and also will be touch the this type of living organisms like amphibians. So we have to take care about the pollution of the air and the water, and we have to get out the chemicals from the factories by a correct way to avoid any pollution in water and air. So we can conclude this lesson that we have to take care about water and air to can adapt with the environment and to can avoid the extinction of many other living organisms. Okay. So now we finish lesson 6, and by this way we can say that we finish concept 1. So goodbye junior 4, and see you.